Due to technical difficulty,
One more song.
I will sing one more. Walking on our share side, whose side are you walking on? Walking on our share side, whose side? Whose side? Whose side? Walking on our share side, whose side are you reading on? Reading on our share side, whose side are you reading on? Reading on our share side. Whose side? Whose side? Whose side? Reading on our same side. Whose side are you feasting on? Feasting on our same side. Whose side are you feasting on? Feasting on our same side. Whose side? Whose side? Whose side? Feasting on our same side. Whose side are you praying on? Praying on our same side. Whose side are you praying on? Praying on our same side. Whose side? Whose side? Whose side? Praying on our same side. Whose side are you marching on? Marching on our same side. Whose side are you marching on? Marching on our same side. Whose side? Whose side? Whose side? Marching on our same side. All right, that will conclude our song service for today. I hope that everyone enjoyed it, and I will now call up the speaker for our day, even our very own Rabbi Sharon and Levi.
Go to Rabbi, everyone. May be seated. We would like to apologize, first of all, for the technical difficulty that we had this morning. We didn't realize we was on another, didn't realize that we were on another meeting. You had entered into the wrong meeting. Hopefully, we will get back those people who tried to get online with us this morning and did not. We're so sorry you all missed the Shabbat service because it was very powerful. The reading was very good, very well. I would like to thank the brothers who studied this week. Everyone did an excellent job when it came reading from the Sefer Torah. And you can hear it and you can tell it. It went very well this morning. I'd like to say you brothers did very well, very good. Baruch Hashem. And the Maftir, he did an excellent job in explaining what it was all about. And this morning, we are going to be delving a little bit into Vayetse, where it mentions, and Yaakov went out from Beersheba Because we realize that from Beersheba, that's where his family was at the time, when he got into a little bit of trouble, if you will. He got into some trouble with his brother Esau, when, according to the narrative, the blessing was supposed to go to Esau, but yet still it went to who? It went to Yaakov. For there was a bit of discombobulation within the family. So the father said, and the mother said, we're going to send you to your relatives. Perhaps the anger that Esau has will die down. So on we go with Yaakov leaving Beersheba. And Yaakov went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. And he lighted upon the place and tarried there all night because the sun was set. And he took one of the stones of the place and put it under his head and laid down on this place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending. Something unusual here. We were under the impression that what? How does Malachim usually, I can't say usually, but we are under the impression that Malachim goes from top to bottom, right? But in this instance, it's showing you what? They're coming from earth and ascending. So what does that say to us, my dear brothers and sisters? We perhaps are surrounded by Malachim on the earth. When you think that all is lost, when you think that all is done with, lo and behold, something out of nowhere may pop up in your life, may say something to you, and lo and behold, this is what Yaakov has experienced. It was a dream, but yet still it's reality. In this dream, he said, what? Angels ascending and descending. Ascending and descending. Very good. So they're here amongst us. I know on many occasions, you too, right, Ima? On many occasions, have it not been for the interception of something, other things would have happened. That's why we say Baruch Hashem. That's why we say Baruch Hashem. So we are perhaps surrounded by things in our life that we can't put our fingers on, but at least Yaakov, we know where he's getting it from. And he responded to it. He responded because he had no idea that the place he was in was what? The gate to heaven. So therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, I say this, all throughout the earth, there are points and there are places in the earth. And guess what? Mankind is still looking for them. There are places in the earth where things are more spiritually inclined to be. And mankind is still looking for them today. And guess what? They know of some of the places. They do know of some of the places. This is what they say they know. So we'll take that with a grain of salt about Yaakov's dream. Angels ascending and descending on him. And behold, the Lord stood by him and said, Ani Adonai, the God of Abraham, thy father, and the God of Yitzchak. The land we're on, thou liest, to thee shall I give it, and to thy seed. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, to the east, to the north, and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Did we hear that before? This is the third time this has been said. First it was with who? And then it was with who? Yitzchak. And now it is now given into who? Yaakov. So 3 times we've heard this in the narratives that we've been reading so far. And in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. What does it mean, my brothers and sisters? Take a page out of our most famous Torah reading. All of the families shall be blessed. But guess what? You have to do something too. You just don't be blessed because it says you're blessed. You have to live right. You have to do the things that the Torah say we should do. We read about it in the Maftir portion. I have a fight with Yehuda and Ephraim because they did not do what was right. It doesn't matter whether you're Israel or not, because what? The curse come upon you too if you don't do right. You ain't doing it right? Sorry. Sorry. Because it is the commandment of the Most High God. Just like he makes things woeful for other peoples of the lands, he does the same thing to Israel. So don't think because Israel doesn't happen to you. Yes, it does. If it does happen, more than ever, it happens to you, Israel, because you should know better. You should know better. Because you and we and what we are supposed to be, Am Segula, a treasure unto the Most High God. So Yaakov goes on his journey and he finds these wells and he asks the brothers of the land, do you know Laban? Yes, we know him. Is it well with him? Yes, it is well with him. And here comes Rachel, his daughter. It is not time to lift the stone from off the well to water the sheep, but yes, it is. So he goes and removes the stone from the well so the sheep can be watered. And he said, oh boy, look at this lady here. Yafeh Ma'od. Yafeh Ma'od. Yafeh Ma'od. Get that right. Yafeh Ma'od. You was a lady well looked upon. So here's something to ponder, my dear brothers and sisters. He said, according to the narrative says, he went and kissed Rachel. Now, what came first, the wagon or the horse? Is it the custom of the East that you just so not taking haphazardly? Is it custom of the East that you could have the privilege of going up to a woman and just kissing her? Family, right? Do you think that still occurred? That he went and kissed her first and then explained to her who he was? I wouldn't think so. I don't think anywhere, at least as far as I know, in the East, and alive in the years that I've been alive, but this happened thousands of years ago. Right. But just think for a moment. If some stranger welcomed you over there, suppose you had a water fountain. You're over there drinking water, and this stranger standing away for you, think he's coming to drink some water, and he come up to you in. What? Okay, even cheek, would you accept that? Huh? Huh? But you ain't never seen this man before. You ain't never seen this person before. No, afterwards, we family. After he said that, after he put the lips on the cheek, oh, we family. Oh, we family. Is that gonna go over with y'all? Huh? She or he? The brother said it was love at first sight. I wouldn't think, I think maybe the narrative just giving you what happened. I don't think it happened in that sequence. I think the order was a little different. But I just mentioned that to y'all to think, I get an idea of what y'all thought about the idea of walking up to somebody, just kissing them on their cheek and say, guess what? The reason why I say this, there is a young lady that walks by here doing the pantry we have outside, and she looked just like my cousin. Dark skin, pretty skin, white teeth, right? So just like my cousin. I said, and I told her so. I said, you know, you look just like my cousin, right? I'm not gonna go over there and kiss her. Right? But at one time, I thought it was her. I said, oh, they were Sharon. I had to look, oh, that ain't Sharon. But I would have walked over and kissed her. You know, but no, in these days and times, I wouldn't smack. That's what you would get across your face in these days and in times. But I think in the order of things, he explained to her that he was his cousin, right? He was his part of his relative and family. So that's what Yaakov did. And as the narrative goes on, she goes and tells Laban all about the gentleman that she met, who's part of their family. And they sat and they eat and they drink and they discover and say, you really are part of my family. You know, I see all the likeness, and perhaps in you. You know, stay with me for a while, dwell with us a while, sit and enjoy yourself and blah 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 blah. You know, they got along very well. Did this, did that. Yaakov started working with the family, blah blah blah. And Laban says, you know, you're a pretty good worker. You working well with the sheep and the goats and the animals and stuff like that. What do you think about working for me, if you will? You know, what will be your wages? All he was thinking about was Rachel. So all that was on his mind. I tell you what, Laban, uncle, I will work for Rachel for 7 years, right? And after 7 years, she become my wife. Laban said, that's a good move. But lo and behold, did Laban have something up his sleeve? Say again, Imam? Laban, I say, may have something up his sleeve. I say the word may up at this point right now. He may have had something up his sleeve. Okay, so he went along with the contract, worked for Rachel for 7 years, and she becomes your wife. Yaakov says, Laban, I've been working for you for over 7 years. Huh? He said, how about let me have my wife that I may go into her? Now, here comes the twist. The night of all the partying and all the happiness and blah, 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 he gives Leah to him. Now, here's something. Brother said something important. That was not the agreement. Now, what do y'all think Yaakov was out there doing all them sheep? What do you think Yaakov was doing out there? Did you tell me he was that far away from the family that he did not know what the family's customs were? I'm sorry. He didn't know the customs of the land. 7 years? He didn't know the custom of the year. Remember now, sometimes you go out for a long period of time, you know, tending to your sheep and your flocks and your herds and stuff like that. Perhaps you may not be able to get back home to see what the custom is. So now, Laban says, it is not done so here. We do not give the younger before we give the older. Now, here is the twist now, y'all. Here is the twist. Was Leah and Rachel twins?
No.
Was Leah and Rachel twins?
No. One was the older and one was the younger.
One was, so y'all agree that they were twins. They were not identical twins. They were not identical twins, but yet still, it's a possibility they were twins. Because they don't give the ages of the two ladies, the two Rachel and Leah. They do not give the ages of them. So some commentators say perhaps they were twins. And this is why Laban said what he said, we do not give the younger before the elder. So, was he amiss from the contract? He was not amiss. So therefore, let me tell, Yaakov didn't know what was going on. I mean to tell, sometimes you can't tell two twins. They don't even look alike. And unless someone speaks up and say they're twins, you would never know it. You would never know they were twins. You call them what? Maternal? Paternal. I'm sorry, Ima? Fraternal. They call them fraternal twins. They don't even look alike, but they came out of the same mama. Perhaps this is what occurred with Yaakov and Laban. No? You don't agree, huh? Fine, you don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree. So, but he was, as far as he was concerned, it was a trick.
Yeah.
It was a trick. You think it was a trick? You see, that's what I like about Torah, Jack. Always brings debate. Always. Some think it was a trick, some don't think it was a trick because the man didn't know. The man didn't know the customs of the land. He didn't know the custom of the land. Not only that, but he was never, for that matter, he wasn't informed that he's dealing with two ladies here who are twins. Say that again? Oh, really? Okay, let's go back. You said something very important, son. Laban should have told him. Did Yaakov told his father he was not Esau? Had nothing to do with that. But guess what? What's the terminology we use in our day and time? What goes around comes around. What goes around comes around. What did you say, brother? I heard somebody say karma. He said karma. You see? Sometimes that's what happens in life. What you do to others, come back and others do to you. So therefore, this is the situation, what life is all about. This is why we learn in our travails and in our travels of life. I'm quite sure we won't ever do some of the dumb things we did when we were younger. Right? But guess what? Some people never learn. They still do, and they get in the same amount of trouble. How can you tell a person who gets in trouble when they're young and go on to prison and knows what prison is all about, and he goes and do the same thing again and winds up in prison again? He didn't learn a lesson. They didn't learn no lessons. Guess that, exactly. I recall, and I give you the perfect example. It happened with me when I was a young man. When I was about 15 or 14 years old, I went to jail. I went to jail for shooting dice in the hallway in the projects. You hear that? Lo and behold, me and my friend, we didn't know. We just, 14 years old? What do we know about? We just shooting games, playing dice. Across the street in the other project, the cops was over there eyeing us with goggles. Looking at us. Look at them cats over there playing dice. Back then, you couldn't even walk on the grass who lived in the project. You could not walk on the grass. And they eyeing us over there shooting dice. And they so happy. And we used to tell our, you tell our friends, keep an eye out, make sure nobody come in and see us. So we busy shooting dice. Nobody's looking out the window to come in the building, right? And lo and behold, the cops came in the building. We didn't see them coming. No, we're busy shooting dice. They crept up on us and locked us up. Handcuffs. And I was 14 years old. That's right. In the project. 14 years old, right? Locked us up, took us to the police station, the housing police station, and they says, oh, go call their parents and let them come get them, blah, blah, blah. He said, one guy said, no, man, no, you got to teach them lessons. They're going to go to court tonight. Go to night court? What, night court? And we all standing there with our hands by our back, some of us crying, sniffling. When you're young, oh, my mom and my daddy going to kill me, Jackie. All right, we make night court, and then we'll take them out and let them go back home tonight. But lo and behold, no, we didn't make night court. It was too late. It's after 12 o'clock. We didn't make night court. So where we wind up in? We wound up in jail. They locked the slammer behind us, wacko. We looked around and found out where we were, and guess who was in the jail? The dudes that love young men. Oh my goodness. And we saw one dude sitting over the corner, doing this, right? And the facility was terrible. If you had to go to the restroom, you did it right there. Everybody can see you. Oh my God. It was just a terrible environment. But guess what? The experience taught me a good lesson. And when our parents came the next morning to come to court in the morning, we all walked out from behind the, the facility, and you walk them to the judge sitting up on the bench, and all our parents are sitting out there in the audience. And I saw my father's face, and the other guys saw their parents' face out there, and we see the look on their faces. I could say, oh my goodness, my pop gonna kill me, Jack. Because he told me before, don't be hanging out in the halls and doing all kinds of dumb things. Did I listen? No. And the judge was actually laughing. He said, what are y'all in here for? And the prosecutor said, they in here for shooting dice, Judge. Judge says, what? He said, yeah, they were caught in the hallway shooting dice. He said, get out of here. Get out of here with that mess. He said, are the parents for these boys in here? He said, the parents said, yeah, I'm here. He said, come get your children and take them home. Get out of here. I says, oh my goodness. My pop, we got out to the hall, my pop said, Yakko, come here, boy. Parents going up their children. So we learned a lesson. We learned a good lesson. I told Papa, I said, Dad, I said, you will never, ever, I will never give you no trouble no more. So we learned the lesson. And sometimes this is what Yaakov is doing in his life. He's learning lessons as he prevails in his travel on the earth. After having that dream, and Hashem came to me and said, I will be with you. And Yaakov said, oh my Lord, if thou will be with me, give me raiment, give me food, look after me. You will be my God. You will be my God, and I will give a tenth of everything that I have. The place was called Beit El, house of God. He left a pillar there so that if he's supposed to come back, he will come back, because Hashem said, this land shall be yours and your seed after you. shall be yours. So the travails of Laban and Yaakov still transpires, and Yaakov was tricked into having Leah first, and then he had to work another 7 more years. He becomes successful. And not only that, along the way, he got what? How many more wives or concubines? Right? So therefore, now we see another thing happening in families that doesn't sit well. The sisters are quarreling, constantly quarreling, because one gives birth and the other would bear. They start quarreling amongst each other and fighting amongst each other, and my husband don't love me, so therefore what? Every time I get a chance to go with him, what? I have a child. And Leah has what? How many children? 6 and 1 daughter. Right? So, but she has a 6 only because there was what? Dysfunctionality. Because every time one of them had a child, they named the child after the condition they were going on under. They were having problems. The name Yaakov, the name Levi, the name Yissaschar. All the names was under what? Some kind of turmoil in their life. They all wanted to be loved by their husband. You think it was a good thing for Laban to give Yaakov all these handmaids? The poor man was what? 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 You don't. I would say this. Ima. You don't know a man very well. And not only that, Ima. You have to understand the period of time and the land you were in. Remember now, look for the land. Okay, here's an example. Did they not fight over who's Dudaim? Hey, they had all the luxury right in the land. Right? They lived off the land. They lived well, they lived long, they lived healthy. Now you ain't gonna tell me that a healthy young man. Oh, and he could have not with you, which he did. Not only that, but each of the sisters were vying for his affection. So much so that now you got Leah and Rachel, right? Making contracts each other. Oh no, he gonna stay with me tonight. Oh no, he ain't. He gonna stay with me tonight. Oh no, he ain't. Oh yeah, I got this. Guess what? Well, sell it to me. Sell it to me, right? Okay, you mean to tell me I gotta give that up for you to go? Hey, it is what it is. It's what it is. And more children come out from this engagement with Yaakov. Yaakov becomes successful. Got his handmaids, got his sheep, blah, 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 blah. Now he goes into another contract with Laban. Because what? The sons accuse him of what? Stealing. No, not that before. Now, then he has Yaakov. What was that? Well, that was outside. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. Yaakov goes into another contract with Laban and says, what? Give me my own. He says, what is yours is yours, and what is mine was mine, but how do we separate the two? So Laban said, all right. Yaakov says, what? Laban said, what should I give you? Don't give me nothing, Yaakov says. Don't give me anything. Right? Did y'all hear something just now? That's the speaker? It wasn't the light. Oh, okay. Okay, all right, okay. So don't give me nothing, Yaakov says. But let me, that's the speaker? No. Don't give me anything, Yaakov says. So what? He goes and he's learned over the years what it means to be a husbandman, right? A controller of animals, a controller. He learns what sheep do. He learns what cows do. He learns all these things. Not only that, but he has understanding of these animals. And he what comes up with a idea of how to gain more. Say that again? You think it was a trick?
No, it was God.
I'm sorry?
It's definitely true.
Say that again. Yes, sir, buddy. That idea and wisdom and knowledge of how to be a husbandman came from the what? From the Most High God himself. Just like you coming up with an idea, right? And what? It becomes successful and you earn from it. The person who started this whole computer age, what? Came up with an idea. What is Microsoft? Idea. And became multi-billionaires. What did Yaakov become? Became rich from an idea of the Most High God, right? But the sons accused, but Laban's sons accused him of what? Stealing his father's sheep. You didn't steal your father's sheep. The Most High God blessed me with these sheep. Big difference. I didn't trick your father. I did not unscrupulous with your Abba. No, no, no. The idea came, and he said it. The idea came from the Most High God. Hashem blessed me. He called Rachel and Leah and said, "Listen, your Abba is his countenance is totally different from the time we started this whole thing. We got to get out of here. We got to move on." But Ish, mean to tell me we don't have no connection with our father again? We don't have no heritage with our father? You know, guess what? Come to think about it, he changed our wages a few times too. You know, you're absolutely right. He changed our wages too, right? So whatever Hashem said to you, let's do. That's the bottom line. Let's do. Yep, they're all together now. But one thing that, who took the teraphim? Rachel took the teraphim? Can anybody say to me why she took the teraphim of her father? I'm sorry? She did not want who? Her father? She did not. She said that the answer we got from one of the ladies in the congregation is that she did not want her father to worship the teraphim. So she took it with her. Unbeknownst to Yaakov, he had no idea that Rachel took the teraphim, took his God with him. And then Laban started chasing after Yaakov because Yaakov woke up at night and fled and didn't tell nobody he was fleeing, took everything with him, everything that he earned, everything that he got for living in that land, and wanted to go back to his father's house. Right? But told Laban said, "That's slick stuff." That slick stuff, boy, he outwitted me. The man, I thought the man was dumb. Man. That man got more smarts than I got. So guess what? I would have done him in some more. Yaakov got out of there because what? Hashem said, "Get out of there. Go back to your father's house." And so he's following instructions. So these inclinations that we get in life, my dear brothers and sisters, if you live right, you have to listen to them. You know what they show, evil on one shoulder and the good evil on the other shoulder. Which one are you going to listen to? We are fortunate to have sometimes visions and dreams, right? But if you live right and you respond to them, it'll make your life better. Make our lives better, you know? But you live right, right? And you act to those visions and those dreams. I know the dreams that we have sometimes. You dream about NUMBERS. How many times do you respond to it? And bingo! So true, right? It made your financial situation much better. Doesn't it? Because what? It came to you in a dream. So don't say we don't respond to it. We respond to it. That was just an example, right? And other things in our lives we respond to as well. I know, visions, right? I think I better, I dreamt about so and so and so and so, I think I better make a move. Guess what? Here's a perfect example. Happened today to me today. This morning, as a matter of fact. I'm up here standing over the beamer, and guess who's running across my mind? Eric. Eric came across my mind. I said, oh my goodness, I said, I wonder how the brother's doing. I was up here seeing praying, but while I was praying, his spirit came across my mind. And lo and behold, who walked in here? Brother Melech walked in here. And that's why I had to get up. I said, oh my goodness. I said, my brother, you don't know how blessed you are. I said, I was just thinking about you while I was praying today. See how you're doing, blah, blah, blah. Because, we didn't see you on virtual. We haven't heard from you. And bingo, here's Eric here with us this morning. I said, oh, Hashem. See, Hashem, that was a vision, if you will, a thought that I had in mind, and bam, here's the brother, all well. He's doing well. Baruch Hashem. So Yaakov flees from Laban and goes on and has a what? He faces once again. He faces what? That Laban is after him. But Laban is after him for two reasons. Rachel stole his God, and right? And according to Laban, right? He didn't send them off with glee, with happiness, with timbrel and dance. But no, that's not what he was after him for. Because here's something for you all to think about as well. The God of your fathers came to me in a dream. It says, do not speak to Yaakov, good or bad. Good or bad. Now, what does that mean? The God of your fathers. Did Laban know about the God of Israel, or the God of Abraham? What can we say to that, my dear brothers and sisters? Because he separated. He didn't say, my God. He said, the God of your fathers came to me in a dream. That's something to ponder and think about. So he heeded the call. He didn't say anything good or bad about Yaakov. He just let it stand. But yet he's still looking for that God he had. Right? Goes to all the tents, goes to all the clothing, goes to everything looking for this item. And Rachel still has it. She sat on it. He said, excuse me, Abba, but I cannot raise up off my saddle because I'm with what? I'm with womanhood at the time. So she got away. She got away with it. But I was very curious about why she took the teraphim in the first place. perhaps under the situation that Yaakov was not of that ilk. He knew of his fathers, Yitzchak and Abraham. He didn't know about them other gods. Maybe he did, because he dwelt in tents. He studied. He was a person that dwelt in tents. Maybe if he didn't dwell in tents, and this day we call that what? Playing videos. Dwell in tents, never going out. How many of our children don't go out and see what the real world is? That's what I'm saying. But when he was he out there? Did he not find anything about the customs of the Lebanon? He wasn't out there. He was still dwelling in tents. He should have what? Mingled with the people to find out what's going on, what their customs, what their traditions are, so forth and so on, amongst the people who he is dwelling with. You know? How many of our little children today go out and don't know nothing besides videos? If it wasn't for the video game, they wouldn't know what to do. They don't know how to create games. They don't know how to, to do things. And the schools and the administrator tell them, put them darn things down. Put them down. They only serve a purpose, but come on, y'all. Y'all got to do other things besides video games. Become aware of what's around you. Oh, I don't know how to do that. I don't do that. Give it a shot. Give it a try. Oh, I don't know how to wash this. I don't know how to do this. And what? Well, they spend all day on these electronic devices, not knowing which way is up and which way is down. Yes, ma'am.
About the young people in Asia. I remember China or one of those, I think it was Japan.
Uh-huh.
These children are so addicted to, the computers and everything that they have to, they put them into one of those schools. It's like you put drug addicts in to be, that's where they take those children up.
To wean them off of it. Huh?
They don't eat, they don't sleep, all they do is stay off all night. And it's a very bad.
It's bad. So what happens if the whole cyber world shuts down? What happens if the cyber world shut down? Huh? Yes, my Lord. They wind up killing themselves, but they wouldn't know what to do. So it's good to get out to be amongst those who are dwelling with to find out exactly what's going on. So Hashem told Laban, don't speak evil or good about Yaakov. So they made a pact, Laban and Yaakov. And that pact was that as long as we are relatives, we shall not come, not relatives, but as long as we love each other, that's what it all bounds down to. We shall not wrong one another. That's what we did. We're not going to wrong each other. You go your way, I go my way, and we live in peace. Right? And the camp that was called Yaakov in his travels, Manakanayim. I hope we all got something out of the lessons that we learned from Yaakov and his travails and his travels with his family. All right, the things that the sisters did, the handmaids did, the things that he had to do. Right, we are in accord. We are in similar ways traveling in our lives. The things that we face in our lives. How are we going to handle them? Keep Hashem in your realm, and you will overcome, just like Yaakov, all the obstacles in your life. With that, I close, my dear brothers and sisters. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with our Musaf service. Amen, amen. That's a good thing. It's pretty
Services. I tell you, younger doing. Hallelujah. Musaf will begin on page 500. Hallelujah. Ki Shem Adonai Kra Avu Godel Elohenu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Hayelach Elohei Agibor Hanora El Elyon Gomel Kasadim Tovim Ufone Yaakov Bezoker Kasei Avot Umedi Goel Livnei Bneihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozel Moshe Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Abraham Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai Mekayem et Imata Rav Lahoshia Mashi Arura Kumurida Geshem Mekalkel Chaim Bechesed Bechayim Etim Brachamim Rabim Zomek Noflim Robe Kovim Umater Asurim Umkoyim Unato Mishene Apar Yikamo Kabal Gibuot Umido Belak Melech Nemit Umkayim Atiyat Yeshua Nemanat Al Hacheot Metim Baruch atah Adonai Bechayim Etim Kedusha Ketei Tulekadonai Elohenu Malakim Amole Mala Imam Kai Yisrael B'Yutze Mata Yachad Kulam Kedusha Lekadosha Leishu Kadavar Amur Al Yad Pieka V'Kvazel Zewamah Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sabaoth Melech Haaretz Kibodo, Kibodo Malei Olam, Ashar Tal Shvalim Zeh Lazeh, Hayeh Mekom Kibodo, Haritzo L'umatam Meshavchim Rovim. Kibodo Malei Olam, Baruch Adonai Mikomo Hu Yivem Rakama Olamo Uyakonam Yakadim Shemo Erev Waboke Bako Yom Tamid Pamayim Dava Shema Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Hu Eloheinu Hu Avinu Hu Malkeinu Hu Moshenu Hu Yashinu V'Yelenu Shenit V'Yashmienu B'Rakamal Shenit Ene Ochel Limor En Galti At Kema Karit Kareshit V'Yot Lakem Lelohim Elohenu Hu Avinu Hu Malkeinu Hu Moshenu Hu Yashinu V'Yelenu Shenit V'Yashmienu B'Rakamal Shenit Ene Ochel Limor En Galti At Kema Karit Kareshit Yolakem Lelohim Ani Adonai Elohekem Yimlo Adonai Leolam Elohai Tzidon Vedor Vador Hallelujah Hallelujah Atah Kadosh Shishin Kadosh Hu Kadoshim B'Kol Yom Yanu Kazina Yom lekado kwado shata, Baruch atah Adonai, Aela kadosh. Tikanta Shabbat Ratita Kwabenoteha, Sivita Pirusheha, Insidure Nisakeha, Angeha lo Olam Kabodin Kalo, Toameha Kayin Zaku, Begam Hauhadim Dirai Hagedula Bacharu, as Misinai Nitawut Siwui Paaleha Karaui, Karaui, Watsawen, Wadonai Lohenu, Lahakriba Korban Musa Shabbat Karaui, Yehira Tomefaneka, Adonai Elohenu Elewe Abotenu, Usheta Aledo Bisim Kala Artinu, Otita in Bigulenu, Wishan Ase Lefaneka et Quarbino Kobotenu, to meet them Kisidra Musapim Kihio Katam, Wet Musap Yoma Shaban Hazena Ase Winakri Lefaneka Behava, commits wide with Soneka, Shimo Kimo Shikatata Lenu Betuateka, Aya de Moshiadeka, Ipi Kibodeka Kamor, Ubio Mashabat Shineki Basim Beneshana. The mimim ushne esronim solen min kabelula bashman when he's ko olat Shabbat beshabbato al olat hatamid when he's ka yismeku b'malkut ka shomre Shabbat wokpore oneg hamekwad she'eshabiyi ulam yisbeu wayit angu mitudeka ubashvi ratitabo kuekwidashto chemdat yamimoto kwarata zekel ma'aseh bereshit. Page 508. Eloheinu Elohe Avotenu, Ritzina Bimnukatinu, Vashel Mitoteka, Vateka Bilmituateka, Savena Mitudeka, Vasamak Nashir Vishuateka, Vataheli Velu Vidyataka Bemet, Manki Velu Adonai Velu, Rabba Pubraton Shabbat Kwacheka, Vayanu Kobo Kal Yisrael Kwachesh Neka, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ekwadesha Shabbat, Ritze Adonai Eloheinu, Banka Yisrael Likilatam She, where she let Aboda, Ibebeteka, we she Israel, Utilatam Mehira, Habatekwa Belberaton, Utilaton, Tamira Boda Israel America. We take it in I Nelu, Bishukalation Barakami, Baruch Atah Adonai, Amakazish Kinatoletio, Mo Dimanak Mulak, Shata Adonai Elohenu, Elohe Avotenu, Leolam Suenu Sokainu, again you shade you at Lord, Lord, and accounts up here in Sialatica, Alkayum, Hansumia Deca, one is shooting Wakudo one is a Kashipo Yomimanu, one is Bloteka, Watoboteka, Shepo 8, Erebo Saharayi, Atoki Lokalu Akameka, Hamra King Kilo Tamukasadeka, Kimeola, Ulak. Wakulam Yitbra, Wayitoma, Wayitna, Se, Shinkai, Makenu Tamid, Lamae, Rekola Kaim Yodukasila, Yalubaku, Shinka, the Lobemet, Wakolam Kito, Ayo Shwatelu, Ezatelu Sila, Ayo Ato, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ato Shinka Ukane Lord. Eloheinu, Elohe Avotenu, Barakenu, Ababraka, Hamshuleshed, Habatura, Haktura, Ayde, Moshe, Abdeka, Amurami, Pia, Haron, Banayo, Kohanimam, Kudushe, Kakamor, Yevareka, Adonai, Wishmareka, Ya Adonai, Panayeleka, Wikuleka, Is Adonai, Panayeleka, we are seeing the Kashamo, Sim Shalom Tuba. Ubraka Chaim Chenwa Chesed, Brachani Aleluah, Yisraelika, Barakenu Avinu, Ulam Kekaru Apaneka, Kibu Apaneka Natatamanu, Adonai Eloheinu, Torah Akainu Apat Chesed, Uzdakwa Ubraka Urachani Mayachim Shalom, Utov Yebeneka, Barakenu Barek, Kolam Kal Yisrael, Nikole Kol Shah Bishuleka, Promos Shalom, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ambarik Etamo Yisrael Shalom, Yishiyulat Oni Merevi, Wegyo Libi Lepaneka, Adonai Tsumi Wegwali, Elohai Nitzoel Soni Mira, Uspatia Mugabir Mira, Unim Karan Shito, Menashika Parla Kotihe, Betakli Bibutuateka, Wachari Mitwoteka, Tedob Nashi. We call Aquamina, Koshi, Malala, Mehera, Hapira, Satam, Quakwe, Makashatam, Yehi, Ratom, Paneka, Adonai, Loai, Willie, Abotai, שלא תעלה פינת אדם עליי, ולא פינתי על האחרים, ושלא אכוס היום, ושלא הכיסאך, ותצילי מיצר הרע, ותן בליבי הכנעה ונאווה, מלכנו אלוהינו, כאחד שמך בעולמך, בני עירך יסד ביתך, ושקלך עליך, וקודת כיבוש גלויות, ובצלמך, ושמה קראתך, Asalama Shivika, Asalama Yimideka, Asalama Tuatika, Asalama Kushatika, Namaye Heltung Yideka, Oshia Yaminka Wani, Yishula Soni Mepi Megum Ilamaneka, Adonai Suiwe Kowali, O say Shalom Yohai, O Ya say Shalom Aleinu, all call Israel people, Amen. Yehi Ratzon Yavaneka, Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Shibane Beit Hamikdash, Bimirabi Avinu, V'tekel Koinu B'Torateka, V'shamna Ve'ad Kabira, Kimei Olam Ushadi Kavimot, V'harba L'Adonai Mikat Yehuda, Yerushalayim Kimei Olam Ushadi Kavimot. Amen. Wawel Adonai, Chazak Yabit Videka, Wawel Adonai, En Kwados Adonai, Ki En Bilteka, We En Suel Keluibu, Ki Mi Eloha, Ibalade Adonai, Umi Suel Zulati Eloheinu, En Keloheinu, En Kadodenu, En Emakelo, En Mosirenu, Elohenu, Adonenu, Mabeno, Mosirenu, Lo del Elohenu, Lo del Adonenu, Lo del Evangelio, Lo del Mosirenu, Baruch Elohenu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Makeno, Baruch Mosirenu, Atahu Elohenu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Makeno, Atahu Mosirenu, Atahu Shitiru, Avotenu, Levaneka, The daily song that the Levites recited in the temple was as follows. On the first day of the week, they would say. On the second day, they would say. On the third day, they would say. On the fourth day, they would say. On the fifth day, they would say. On the sixth day, they would say. On the Shabbat, they would say. Aquados Baruch, Shehuno Teshamayim Yosef Aretz, Umusha Bekaro Bashamayim Ma'am, Ushkina Uzo, Degabe Domi, Uelohe Dohego, Ebe Makenu Nesubato, Takatu Betuato, Yadata Yom Hashemutai Lumabika, Kiyadonai Hu Elohim, Bashamayim Ma'awa Aretz, Vitakat Eo. Va'akiri kwawelu karuna luhilo, Mirot meherabiti peretu kuseka, Hadye kimin haret, Vahailim karoti karetun, V'takuin mu'abudu shai, Kobi yetashai tu bishmeka, V'avlote beka kobi shearet, Yakiru wayeru, Koyo shetedel, Kilekati pra koberet, Kishaba kolasho, Lefane karuna luhilo, Olu, Libo Shikai Waitino, Iquabu, Unam, Ona Uteka, Utilo, Kale, and Mera Lamae, Kiamaku, Sotaru, Abud, Kakatu, Tuatika, Runai, Lamae, Benea, Behaya Adonai, Rameleka, Mayomahu, Iye Adonai Eka, Ushmo, Ushmo, Eka. Tirani Bananito, Bishua Tishari Tabu, Utu Esa Utubar, Daruta Barbado Yako, Kimanuel, Maazikani Ho, Bania Esemato, Bania City, Bania Esa, Bania Esco, Amale. On the squadish, those who are morning, please remain standing. Also, those who are morning online, please unmute yourselves at this time. Those who are morning, please remain standing, and those online, unmute yourselves at this time. Yigada, Yigada Shimiraba, Alma Dibera Kirute, וימליק מלכותי ויעצמה ובכל משיחי בחיי כל ימיכם וחיי כל בישראל בגלה ובזמן פרי ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה יברך לעולמי יברך וישתבח ויתפאר וישמח וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריקו לילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה ושמחתה ונחמתה תמירה במה אמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה משמיה וחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומה ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
Now on to page 14 for Adon Olam, Master of the Worlds. Adon Olam Hashem Allah, B'Tzelem Kol Yitzei Nivra, Le'en Asa B'Chetzoko, Azai Melech Shemo Nivra, Ve'ata Ve'Kikotako, Ve'Adon Yimlot Torah, Ve'Hu Haya Ve'Hu Ove, Ve'Hu Yeh B'Tifara, Ve'Hu Echad Ve'Ein Sheni, Ve'Hamshilo Ve'Havira, Ve'Mireshit Ve'Mitachlit, Ve'Lo Ha'oz Ve'Hamizrach, Ve'Hu Elim Ve'Chaim Go'ali, Ve'Sorotevni Ve'Esara, Ve'Hu Nisi Umanosni, Ve'Nafkosi Ve'Yom Ve'Fra, Ve'Ador Achiduti, Ve'Ishtan Ve'Ahira, Ve'Imluchi Geviyati, Adonai Ve'Elohim. Yeah, amen. Thank everybody for coming out today. All those who are listening in online as well. We apologize for the technical difficulties earlier, and we hope that we do better next week and are able to not only identify it when it happens, also prevent it. We thank Rabbi Yeshua for his wonderful lesson, a lesson that got us all thinking about the multiple possibilities.
Yes.
We thank our Matir for his lesson today, pointing out the correlation as well as what it was talking about.
Yes, sir.
We are truly blessed during this time, as it says in the Shema, if we do his law, we'll receive our rain. As we can see, it's raining and blowing out there. We're receiving our rain already. Hallelujah. If there are any announcements, Rabbi will make them at this time. Afterwards, we will be dismissed and proceed with Kiddush. Hallelujah. Shabbat Shalom. Enjoy your upcoming week and enjoy the rest of your Shabbat day.
Amen. I hope you all enjoyed our Shabbat service for today. It was a wonderful service. We thank all of those who have appeared in the synagogue. It's wonderful to see your faces again. And may Hashem continue to bless each and every one of us and every one of you and all the families in which you represent. May you be blessed and the members of your family be blessed through you. Hashem said, through your seed, or the families of the earth be blessed. So let's continue to do the good things and the good works that we can do, and perhaps even our family members can be blessed as well. And with all that, please remember to send in your tithes and your offerings, and make sure you put in all those things that you have to do when it comes to your donations so far as the sick are concerned. We have to get those donations in because it said, and I will make a contribution for the sick people we have called upon. May Hashem allow them to rise up from their sickness and they continue to give praise to the great King of the universe. These are all thy blessings. We ask high, most exalted name. Amen. Let's all please rise to be dismissed. Yevareka Aranama Yasmareka. Ya in Arana Panavalaka Vipaneka. Yes, Arna Panavalaka Simlaka Shalom. Vesemu Eshami Aban Israel. Rani Yavarikem. May the good Lord take a liking to you. Amen.
Pilush. Mizmor LaDavid, Adonai Ro'ilo Exar, Bin Ot Deshe Yarbitseni, Amen Min Chot Nahaleni, Nafshi Yeshovev Yanchini B'Maglet Tzedek L'Ma'an Shemo, Gam Ki Elek Beges Amawet, Lo Iravra Ki Ata Imadi, Shiteka Mishanteka, Hemaya Nachamuni, Ta'arok Lefanai Shulchan Neged Sorarai, Bishanta Bashemen, Roshi, Kosi Rawaya, Akto Vachesed Yedofuni, Kol Yemei Chayai, V'shavti B'vet Adonai La'orek Yamin.
Amen.
Im Tashiv Mishabat Ragleka, Asot Chafatzeka Bayom Quadshi, V'kwarata L'Shabbat Oneh, Likdosh Adonai Mekuba, V'kibato Me'asot D'rakeka, Mimso Chefseka V'daber Davar, Az Tit Anag Al Adonai, V'herkavtika Al B'matei Aretz, V'akoltika Nachalat Yaakov Avika, Ki Pi Adonai Diber. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat ledorotam berit olam, beini u'bein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et HaShamayim, ve'et haaretz, v'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat re'in yafash. Zakor et yom HaShabbat le'kwadsho, sheshet yamim ta'avod v'asita kol malakteka, v'yom hashvi'i Shabbat la'Adonai Eloheka, Lo ta'aseh kol malaka, ata uvinka, viteka, abdeka, va'amatka, vemteka, v'gerka asher bishareka. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim, ve'et haaretz, et hayam ve'et kol asher bam, ve'yanach v'yom hashvi'i. Al ken berak Adonai et yom hashabat v'yikwad shehu. Savri maranam rabbanam rabota. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Borei Puri Agafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kli chando b'mitzvotav v'tuanu al netilat yadayim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Bone, everyone. Bone. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shavuot. Have a good week.
Next week, I'll have numbers.
All right, we're gonna end the meeting for everyone today.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom,
shalom,
Sister Monica.
Monica.
Thank you for everything, Sister Monica.
Yes.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's my pleasure.
All the families well?
Yes, Baruch Hashem, everyone is well.
Okay.
It was
See you
actually
soon
Sister
out here.
Lenore that texted me and said that, she could not get into the Zoom link.
Yeah,
When I checked it, I was getting the same message, so.
yeah. We had put it on the wrong link.
Yes, okay, no problem. It
All
happens.
right.
All right, shalom, everyone.
Shalom. Shabbat shalom.